Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Aries January 2019 horoscope forecast. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as January goes, the Sun will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 20th. So the 10th house is what is going to be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong focus, concentration of energy and attention on one's career, public image, reputation, the dominant parent, which is often the father, success, authority figures, even attaining a position of authority, perhaps one's stature in life and one's social status as well. Now, given that this is Capricorn energy, this could be done with a lot of Capricorn, like discipline, responsibility in a very orthodox and conventional manner, very methodically, done in very consistent manner as well, with a lot of seriousness, but with intransigence as well. With a lot of ambition. So if you're trying to attain some position of authority or reach that pinnacle of success, this is very good. I mean, this could be because it's given ambitious energy as well. You have the sign connected with success and ambition connected with that same house. So this is really could be very positive energy. This could be also could be done, unfortunately, in a little bit pessimistic manner and negative manner as well. So just guard against being overly negative on these 10th house matters at this time, and try to emphasize the ambitious energy. And this could be done too with a lot of premeditation, a lot of planning. This yeah, I mean, could be a lot of focus on these career matters and attaining one's ambitions, but still it could be done with a lot of planning ahead, which of course could be very good. But also to guard against becoming overly despondent or melancholy on any of these matters as well at this time, as Capricorn energy can be somewhat depressive. Now, anyway, next thing up. The Sun will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 20th until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a very strong focus, concentration of energy and attention on friends, acquaintances, goals, aspirations, groups, clubs, organizations, one's future at this time, social networking, even like social media, and also even humanitarian endeavors. Now, given that this is Aquarius energy, this could be done with a lot of selfless energy, and again, could be done with a lot of humanitarian energy. So even the humanitarian endeavors is what the 11th house connected with. This is very good for that, because it will be done with a lot of humanitarianism as far as that energy goes. But these 11th house matters also may be done in very unorthodox manner, but with a lot of confidence as well. Could be done with a lot of independence and a lot of freedom. Really like a very freedom-oriented manner as well. In other words, like say there's going to be a focus on having the freedom to have whatever friends you want to have, as an example, or goals and aspirations you want to attain. And also a lot of these 11th house matters can be done with a lot of considerate energy, and especially matters with friends and acquaintances as well, but with a lot of progressive energy, spontaneity, and even unpredictability, and maybe even innovative energy as well. There might be a focus on innovation as part of some kind of goal or aspiration, bringing that energy into groups, clubs, and organizations. So anyway, next thing up, there will be a new moon solar eclipse in Capricorn on January 5th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, one way this could manifest, I mean, when you're talking about, first I want to get at it, for those of you who don't know, I mean, a solar eclipse is like a new moon, but it's really like an inflated or amplified new moon, like a new moon on steroids, basically. I mean, it could be about starting something new, but at the same time, it could, I mean, it could be more monumental and have more of a, it could have potentially have a more of a life-altering effect, and it's a little bit more powerful and more sustained, perhaps effect. So anyway, I mean, this could be a new connection, say with a Capricorn authority figure, or Capricorn that might, or someone that might embody Capricorn characteristics. It could be a Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that embodies Capricorn characteristics, which could really have a very strong impact on you. It could be something that will be a sustained, very sustained connection. Now, it could be a new Capricorn-like career that could be very monumental, could be very life-altering, and something that maybe you stay with for a while. It could be something, for example, with dentistry, carpentry, even information technology. It could be anything that could be Capricorn related, carpentry, something with business or politics. And also, I mean, given this could be very powerful, rejuvenating, and revitalizing, ambitious energy to reach that pinnacle of success at this time. This could be a beginning for you of consistently working toward maybe attaining a position of authority and trying to attain some kind of notoriety and recognition, perhaps, but doing so by working within the parameters, so to speak, because that's what Capricorn energy can be about, and not really deviating from what could be really ethical, and doing the things that you doing things in the right way to attain, whether it could be a position of authority, a career related matter, or even receiving getting accolades, notoriety, and recognition for whatever it is you may attempt to do. Now, anyway, next thing up, there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in Leo on January 21st. So the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, elaborating on this a little. Now, a full moon in astrology, lunar eclipse in astrology is basically like the full moon amplified and intensified, kind of on steroids, so to speak. It's like a regular full moon, but more intensified, and it could have very life-altering effects or impact on somebody, and really, really more of a sustained, it's more sustained energy is how I see it as well. Now, anyway, this could be a time, one way this may manifest, this could be a time where you become tired, exasperated, full, so to speak, had enough of maybe, it could be a Leo child, or one that a Leo sun, moon, or ascendant child, or one that embodies Leo-like characteristics. Or it could be somebody that's just a bombastic, arrogant, overbearing, attention-seeking, even coxcombical child that you just have basically have gotten tired of and had enough with, and maybe it's a time where you finally lay down the law, so to speak. This could be a time too where you might just simply find some kind of Leo love that that might be very life altering. That might be a time where it's very sustained and really comes, maybe even very surprisingly or shockingly. And you might receive at this time, if you're a sports minded person, that you have this, maybe this unveiling or revelation yourself, where you've become cognizant, perhaps, of finding some kind of sport that you feel that you might actually be able to dominate at this point in time. But also, too, another way this could manifest, it could be in some cases, if you're somebody that's into gambling or does a lot of things that are speculative and makes a lot of investments and hasn't been going right for you, it could be a time where you just have had enough of become full, perhaps a rather extravagant or exorbitant gambling matter, especially if this has led to heavy losses. Now, also speaking of unveilings or revelations, it could be of a Leo love, perhaps of an interest that maybe you find, again, maybe you find somebody at this time, if you're unattached Aries, and it might be very life altering. And also too, you might even become, a lot of this energy, when you're talking about solar and lunar eclipses, I believe it could be where one becomes strongly cognizant of things that maybe they just weren't quite aware of, and it kind of hits them like a flash very spontaneously. And this could be a time where maybe you even find something that's Leo-like, that could be something that could be very enjoyable and could really maybe impact your life strongly in years to come. It could be even a Leo-like profession such as doing cardiology, or doing something where even just the expression of generosity, more extroversion, or doing something else that could be Leo like that. That could be something that would be, of course, being the fifth house, something with fun, amusement, enjoyment. It could be entertaining or acting, something that could be creative or working with the children. It could be doing something with children, so those are some things to look at. It could also be a time where you decide to express a lot of this, really this powerful, maybe Leo gregarious energy that leads to greater personal popularity and maybe some true enjoyment with you. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, well, the next thing up is Mercury will be in Sagittarius as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 5th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, this could manifest perhaps in having very philosophical, blunt, voracious discussions with in-laws, with grandchildren, foreigners. It could even be with someone you know at a religious congregation. This could also manifest perhaps in really very expansive, enthusiastic, and exuberant thinking regarding higher education, publishing, religion, and also just simply going outside the box and abstract thinking. Now, another way this could work out, it could be, as I've talked about previously, is that Mercury is not just about communication. It could also be about siblings. This could be about Sagittarius siblings. They could be actual Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant siblings, or ones that simply embody Sagittarius characteristics, may figure prominently in philosophy, in your religion, traveling abroad, even publishing at this time as well. This could also be about sports writing that may be published, or something else Sagittarius related being published, something connected with the law, with religion, with philosophy. It could be about teaching maybe another language, perhaps helping others become more learned in that, so to speak. And also, this could be a great time for learning perhaps another language at some college, university. Now, but also guard against self-righteous thinking regarding ninth house matters, such as philosophical beliefs, religion, and anything that could be ninth house related. It could be regarding the law. I mean, because there's other people that, obviously have other opinions as well. So anyway, next thing up. Mercury will be in Capricorn as far as January goes, from the 5th until the 24th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could manifest perhaps in somewhat melancholy or even despondency in thought regarding your career, vocation, your public image. But it could be disciplined thinking regarding that as well, and showing restraint in 10th house matters, whether you're dealing with maybe a cantankerous boss or authority figure, or a dominant parent, or what have you, which is often the father. Also, and as I've stated before, that Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Capricorn siblings. They could be Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Capricorn-like characteristics that may figure prominently in your success, maybe even attaining a position of authority, your career, and even notoriety and recognition. You might find yourself having communications and conversations about business, about government, politics, with people prominent in your career. It could be the dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures, superiors, even older people. And also, this could be a lot of premeditative and planned thinking about attaining success or that position of authority or moving up the ladder, perhaps in your career, and doing things that might improve your social status and your stature in life. Anyway, next thing up. Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 24th until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might find yourself talking about new ideas and concepts with friends, acquaintances, and group-related matters. You might also, this could also manifest in being very considerate in your speech and your communications with these people, not talking over others, allowing others to speak their mind about various issues, and respecting others' opinions at this time as well. Friends, acquaintances, people in group-related matters, people that you're chatting with perhaps on social media, that you're doing social networking with. And also, this could be about progressive thinking regarding your future and that mentality where you have that freedom to pursue your future at this time, and whatever aspirations you might have, that you're basically, you feel at this time having that really a freedom type mentality as far as that goes. And no matter, even if they are if they were somewhat unorthodox, that is basically how you may be thinking right now. Also, this could be about Aquarius siblings. Again, they could be Aquarius sun, moon, ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius-like characteristics, might figure prominently in your goals, your aspirations, even in maybe in matters on social media as well, more so than usual, even group-related matters, and might even figure more strongly in your future at this time as well. Anyway, next thing up. Well, Venus will be in Scorpio as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 7th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, you might find yourself experiencing enjoyment of Scorpio-like things with someone you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with. They could be doing something like the Ouija board, or playing some kind of I don't know, a horror game, or doing something with astrology, perhaps with them playing a mystery game like a Sherlock Holmes game, things of that nature with somebody you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with. Also, another way this can manifest is that Scorpio relationships, they could be Scorpio, sun, moon, ascendant people, or ascendant people, or ones that embody Scorpio-like characteristics, might figure prominently in crisis situation, shared resources, maybe even moral and monetary emotional support at this time. And also, a way this may work out is valuing being secretive regarding money, monetary matters, really, or I should say, just valuing secrecy in situations with your intimate, if you're in an intimate relationship with someone, or share, or any kind of monetary support you might, or emotional support you may be giving someone. Also, in matters with insurance or even crisis situations as well. This could be where you might be valuing more secrecy with. And also, it could be about money that you kind of spend, but really privately, not really telling anybody about making some kind of major change or transformation. So anyway, and also valuing your privacy as far as your really your sex life goes, perhaps at this time as well. Anyway, next thing up is Venus will be in Sagittarius as far as January goes, from the 7th until the 31st. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, this could manifest perhaps in valuing veracity and the truth in matters connected with the law. It could be in matters dealing with your in-laws and grandchildren, perhaps, if applicable. Also, the enjoyment of philosophy, of religion, perhaps sports, even traveling abroad with in-laws and grandchildren, maybe people you may even know at a college, university with foreigners, perhaps. And also, too, you might find yourself spending very exuberantly and enthusiastically on ninth house matters such as publishing, higher education, religious matters, perhaps at this time. Also, too, Sagittarius relationships. They may be Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Sagittarius-like characteristics, might factor in strongly in ninth house matters, such as traveling abroad. It could be abstract thinking as well, getting you to think outside the box, philosophy perhaps, and even maybe higher education as well. So anyway, hold on again, people. Sorry about that, I'm back again. Anyway, next thing up. Well, Mars will be in Aries, so at this time, the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, Aries, I mean, you're generally a very good vitality and energy anyway, but this is a time when you might experience a very strong abundance and surfeit of energy, and especially if this is actually hitting the first house in one's natal chart. Now, this is something, too, where you might put a lot of energy into Aries-like new beginnings, such as firefighting, welding. It could be combative sports such as karate or boxing, or even some leadership position. It could be also where you might come across as being more outspoken than usual, and which is hard to do for an Aries, but even more acerbic on a first impression. The situation perhaps with people maybe from your early childhood may be a little bit more contentious than usual. And also as well, this could be where you might be angry at maybe their impetuous or impulsive, aggressive, overly combative behavior. And also there could be a little greater propensity perhaps for injuries to the physical body, perhaps the head and the face at this time. And also there's a little greater propensity for even if you're in a very bad neighborhood and it's crime ridden and it's volatile, I mean, especially there's a little greater propensity for contact with gunfire. I mean, it's isolated, but still, because Mars can be connected with that. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will be in Sagittarius still. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. And as I've talked about before, that Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It's very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. And at this time, in some cases, this could expand perhaps self-righteous, foolhardy, reckless, over-optimistic behavior from in-laws. It could be from grandchildren at this time. And also, too, maybe people you might be dealing with in higher education. But at the same time, this could be very fortuitous, given that Jupiter will be in its dignity in Sagittarius, very fortuitous for ninth house matters, and maybe even doing something as far as Sagittarius related for publishing, such as something with sports or philosophy or religion, something connected with the law, something that could be Sagittarius related. So anyway, another thing too is that this could also be a lot of luck and fortune through some kind of taking some kind of Sagittarius a higher education course. It could be something connected with sports, with theology, something with religion. It could be something connected with travel, something that involves traveling or doing something as far as translation, perhaps learning another language, anything that could be Sagittarius related, and advertising even. Now, also, anyway, the next thing up is Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, you might find yourself experiencing some limitations and restrictions regarding career matters or attaining success at this time, maybe even matters with the dominant parent or authority figures. But it also might manifest perhaps in having to take care of a debilitated or sickly dominant parent, which is often the father. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, or the joints, and it might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. But also this could give structure and discipline in your career related matters. And also at this time as well, you might find yourself maybe finding more responsibilities in 10th house matters, such as the career, and even trying to even matters with the dominant parent, which is often the father, doing things more for authority figures at this time, more so than usual, and just your career in general. So and really also too, at this time, I mean, this is a lot of, I mean, Saturn is really, I mean, this could be where perhaps older people at this time might figure more prominently at this time in terms of maybe your social status, your stature in life, and trying to attain some kind of a status or recognition at this time as well. Anyway, next thing up. Uranus will be in Aries still, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Well, you might find Aries that perhaps Aries friendships might figure prominently in your outlook more so than usual, your appearance at this time, and even maybe be helping you in terms of making a first impression, such as if you're going for some kind of job interview. But also this could be a greater propensity for some kind of electric shock or some kind of problems with the nerves at this time, because Uranus can be connected with that. But at the same time, you might find yourself more innovative and having more original pioneering ideas more so than usual. You may be experiencing more unpredictable behavior from people that were prominent in your early childhood. And also you might find yourself coming into contact with Uranus people at this time, and it might happen very, I mean, given this is Aries energy blended in, it might happen very spontaneously. This could be, I mean, people that are innovators, astrologers, people that might work with computers, electronics, that are very future, people that are very future oriented. It could also be people that work doing, electricians, perhaps people that are in astronomy or aerospace. So, and you might at this time make some unusual change in your appearance, or appear, as far as your appearance goes, maybe more unorthodox at this time, and have maybe like a really unusual or eclectic look to yourself. It could just be a simple change as well. But anyway, and especially, this is especially true if this is actually hitting your first house in your actual natal chart. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, you might find one way this may manifest, you might be dealing with more chaos in your private life at this time. You might find also, if this is in some isolated cases, it could be dealing with some kind of confounding or confusing mental illness, and even alcohol and drugs, perhaps in some isolated cases, could be oneself undoing at this time as well. But in a lot of cases, this could manifest in doing something Neptune related in solitude and seclusion. It could be doing something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, something mystical or spiritual, photography, chemistry, doing something with photography, perhaps something that is Neptune related. And it could also manifest perhaps in showing a lot of self-sacrificing energy and helping those that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry. Aunts and an aunt or an uncle might be somewhat nebulous or unclear at this time, and even people that might be prominent in your private life may seem that way as well. Last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Well, one way this may manifest, I mean, a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway, is that this could be about, in some cases, the actual literal death of the dominant parent, which is often the father. It could be someone prominent in your career or an authority figure. Um, another way this may work out is that you could be, I mean, it could be a destruction or obliteration of one's career, but at the same time, this could also, remember that Pluto can be about rebirth and regeneration. So if something is, if a career matter goes away, it could be supplanted from Pluto, it could be supplanted with something else, or it might even be revived at a later point in time. But avoid obsessive and compulsive behavior in terms of trying to attain some position of authority or improving your stature in life and trying to measure up maybe to others that might be doing better than you in terms of where they are in their career and where they are in life. It might, and this could also be about power struggles, perhaps with people prominent in your career, or maybe even people, the dominant parent, which is often the father, people in positions of authority. And a lot of that could depend too, of course, on the aspects this makes to points in your natal chart. If you're having, say, if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars, this could really be it could be power struggles where they're very acrimonious and very contentious as well. So as an example. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Aries January 2019 horoscope forecast. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Taurus January 2019 horoscope forecast. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.